Welcome to the Investor Empowerment Series radio show, empowering your real estate investing with techniques, opportunities, and information, minus the BS and sales pitches. Now, please welcome the host of the Investor Empowerment Series, Joe Mueller, from the Tough as Nails Investment Syndicate. Joe Mueller.
All right, we're just going to do this. I can't get my stupid microphone to work right, but whatever. I know you can hear me. I know it's going to come out good when I'm done. We're going to change things up today. I had a change with the podcast recently. I changed from SoundCloud, which is where I was hosting my podcast, to Libsyn, which is another podcast server, which offers more opportunity to get this thing out there to listeners like you guys. And what happened is, in the process, it kind of screwed up my scheduled releases. So instead of releasing my Investor Empowerment Series radio show number 13 today, actually comes out tomorrow morning around midnight, Wednesday. Today's a Tuesday. It's going to come out next week instead. So I'm going to give you this is Investor Empowerment Series radio show 12.5. Just interviewed Andrew Holmes from Chicago Cash Flow and Chicago RIA, and now I'm going to jump in here because this one is going to be about some real-life opportunities for you guys, the listeners, whether you're in Chicago or out of Chicago and you're looking for investment deals. Because I've got 3 deals on my plate right now that I thought, what better way to get these deals out there to the masses than to just put it on the podcast. And number one, we're going to see who's paying attention. Number two, we're going to offer these opportunities out there for you guys, the listeners. So you're getting first crack at these. Nobody else knows about them. It's going to be your choice if you want to follow up with me on this. But I'm going to talk about them right now. These are wholesale deals. These are through partnerships I work with on wholesalers that I started doing in the last year or so in order to create more opportunity for the investors that I network with and I have in my meetup group and I work with in my brokerage. So listen up. First property I got is a property on Prospect Avenue in Elgin, Illinois. You guys have listened to my podcast. You know I love Elgin. I haven't even put this out there to my back pocket buyers yet. They're probably going to be mad when they listen. Whoops, sorry, guys. But I want to offer some opportunities and some value with this podcast. So I got this house on Prospect under contract with a wholesaling partner. And what that means is we're working the deal together, we're marketing together, we're putting contracts together, and we're wholesaling these deals as opportunities out there for you guys, for anybody. So this house on Prospect, it is an old house. It's a big house. It's like 1,800 square feet. We've got it currently for sale. Well, it's going to be for sale as a wholesale opportunity for $45,000. This house in that area is worth an easy $160,000 when it's fixed up. So you got $120,000 potential spread there. It does need work. It's going to need some interior reconfiguration. It's gutted down to the studs in some of the rooms. I mean, this is a big job. So we're guesstimating our numbers somewhere around $60,000 to rehab this property and get it either at a $1,400 to $1,500 a month rental or resell it for somewhere around $160,000 to $170,000. That's what the comps are for. So this, for anybody listening who's interested in this property, I need you to send a text or make a phone call to 847-807-1710. That's 847-807-1710. You can text that number. You can call it. This is going to our systems, our phone system. It's going to figure out when you called, if you leave a message, whatever, if we can't get through. But we'll definitely get back in touch with you. Next property is in Chicago. It's in Humboldt Park of the city, which is an area that's on the upswing right now. There's a lot of rehabs going on. There's a lot of opportunities. It's on Hamlin, which is a street that kind of runs north and south right down the middle of Humboldt and Garfield Park. This property is a 4-bedroom, 1-bath brick bungalow in the city in Humboldt Park. It is, according to the owner, it's got a 5th bedroom actually in the basement that can be used as a legal fifth bedroom for rental. This baby on a Section 8 Cook County HACC Section 8 payment, you're looking at somewhere around $1,600 to $1,700 a month just from Section 8. If you just want to keep it and go non-Section 8, you're probably looking somewhere around $1,400 to $1,550 a month, roughly, depending on if you use that fifth bedroom. We have estimates from contractors that this property needs about $40,000 in repair to make it a turnkey type rental, and we're selling it right now for $40,000. The ARV on this property is $125,000 to $135,000. So do your quick math on there. If you're in this thing all day for about $80,000, you're going to either have on average, we'll call it a $1,500 a month rental, or an asset you can then sell for $130,000 and make some money. I mean, there's some spread there on this property. There's $30,000 spread to make on this property on Hamlin. This is East Humboldt Park / Garfield Park area. It is a wholesale opportunity for all the listeners out there. That is for sale for $40,000. ARV on it's about $130,000 or so, and like I said, also a good rental, and it does need some work. Interested in this property, call or text 847-807-1710, 847-807-1710. And one thing I need to mention here is this podcast is getting recorded and released today, which is September 13, 2016. If you're listening to this in October, these properties are probably gone. So this isn't gonna last long. Just keep it in mind. All right, next property, and the last one I'm going to present to you today. This one is on Balmoral Avenue in Westchester, Illinois. This property is another brick bungalow. It is solid. It was occupied by a tenant that was actually a roofer, so it's got a new roof on the garage. It's got some updates from the previous owner. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It's only 950 square feet. I know everyone's going to be like, what? Too small? Well, I thought so too. But then I started pulling comps. This property, the ARV on this thing, because it's such a desirable area, is between $185,000 and $195,000. It's got a basement. If you finish that basement out, you do it right, you're looking at a $195,000 property. We are wholesaling it for $100,000. We already been through the property. We had contractors give some quotes. We're looking at $20,000 in rehab costs. It's a true Chicago bungalow, shotgun style, so it's got hardwood floors throughout. They just need to be refinished. Bathroom needs to be cleaned up, needs to be gutted out, I guess. You need new vanities, toilet. The surround in the bathtub needs some attention. Just cosmetic type stuff for the most part, but depending on the eye of the beholder, it's up to you. The kitchen. This is crazy. The kitchen has brand new white cabinets in it, recently installed, probably no less than 6 months old. And it has been lived in. I just want to put that out there. So they're dirty a little bit, but they're new. And it's got granite countertops already. Now, again, it's not perfect. It needs work. You're probably looking at about $20,000, depending on if you want what type of improvements you want to make, how bad you want to make this basement, how awesome you want it. But this property purchased at $100,000, $20,000 in work. Even if it was $30,000 in work, because you made it all nice and fancier than it needed to be, you're looking at a resale value of $195,000. There's a big margin in this property, potentially $30,000 to $40,000, depending on how you run your numbers and what you spend on your contractors. So, again, if you're interested in any of these wholesale opportunities, get a hold of us right now, because these are going to go fast. Text 847-807-1710 or call 847-807-1710. Again, today's September 13th, 2016. These are going to be gone if you're listening to this in October or November of this year. I guarantee it. All right. I'm sorry I don't have the fancy music and stuff this time. I'm going to try to figure that out. I'm releasing this right now. This is Joe Mueller with episode 12.5 of the Investor Empowerment Series radio show. I just want to bring this opportunity out here, so I'm breaking up my normal scheduled release podcast.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Investor Empowerment Series radio show. Be sure to tune in next week for another empowering episode. We welcome your feedback, so please rate us on iTunes and Stitcher, and visit us at www.investoремpowermentchicago.com or tennisgrouprealty.com.